on my way to donate all of these boxes to the Salvation Army. I had wanted to deliver them to the women's shelter, but the Salvation Army and the women's shelter actually coincide and they work together. And when there is women that go to the women's shelter, they actually get a voucher that they can use towards clothing at the Salvation Army here in Medicine Hat. So that is what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to drop these clothing off and then I will see you guys in the next clip. Today we are giving back. So I love giving back. I love donating to others only because I have used all of those resources, I guess you would say. So a little bit of background about myself is I was a single mom for years. Actually, Zoe, who is going to be helping me today, I am just waiting for her to meet me here. She was only 1 year old when actually me and her dad had split up. I have an older daughter, is Jenna, who is 3 years old, and they were very young. And I was a single mom for a long time, probably about close to 7 years, 8 years. I was a single mom. I was fortunate enough that I did end up with a great career. I actually worked in the oil field as an administrator, but to start out with, actually, when I left the girls' father, I did not have a job at all, because here in Canada, you actually are granted a year maternity leave for having a baby. So I was actually off of work for the year when I had Zoe, and I had actually left that job, and I wasn't planning on going back to it. I ended up leaving the girls' dad, and I didn't have a job whatsoever. So I had no income, and you know, I lived with my parents for a little time. I want to say it was about a month, and they had said, don't get me wrong, my parents are very, very giving and very helpful in this journey of me with the girls. They were actually the only people that had ever watched my girls. My girls never even had a babysitter. But anyways, I was only allowed to stay with them for a certain amount of time, and that was about a month. And I ended up using the resources as much as I could, because I did not have an income. And I went on social services. Social services, and they had helped me find a place. They had paid my rent. They had provided me with going to the food bank and all of those resources that go along with being on social assistance. So I have used the food bank. I have used the women's shelter. I have used a lot of these resources during that time of hardship before I ended up finding a part-time job and, you know, making a living. I ended up actually buying my first house on my own, and social assistance is what brought me to that point. 100% believe that. I am forever grateful for their help that they had contributed while I was a single parent of 2 toddlers. They were 1 and 3, and that is why I try to give back when I can. So my first stop, I already stopped there. I had inserted that clip at the very beginning of this video because I wanted to give back to the women's shelter. These places where I'm giving back today is what I continue to give back on a regular basis. And I want to encourage you during this time, especially in the new year, to give back when you can and where it is possible. There has not been a point in my life until recently where I was able to give back. But I always wanted to give back because those were the resources that helped me literally remain as, you know, a family, and as a surviving family was those resources. I can still remember the first Christmas that we had. It was only me and the girls, and there was a family that it was an anonymous family. I still to this day, I do not know who the family was, but it's going to bring me to tears. So that family donated actually a turkey, stuffing, milk, everything to go along with Christmas meal, as well as giving back in with Christmas gifts as well for the girls. And that has tremendously touched my heart even to this day, and that is why I give back. So Zoe is here. I just seen her pull up. We have rescued Ivy from the SPCA, and that is why we will be donating to the SPCA today.
I was so confused. I was like, did she not see me? Why is she not coming out?
I'm just doing a little bit of an intro.
Oh, okay.
And this is Zoe. I'm sure everybody knows Zoe. She has been in my videos a few times before. I was just explaining where we are donating today and why we are donating, actually, and going through that story on, you know, how all of the places that actually we are donating today was a resource throughout our lives. I decided that I'm going to do the food bank as well. I'll do that after we drop off things at the SPCA and the women's shelter. But the reason for the SPCA is because Ivy, Zoe's cat, was rescued from the SPCA. She is the sweetest darn cat ever. We love her to pieces. And we were actually talking a little while ago on how Ivy loves to be around people, not necessarily to be like pet or anything like that, but she just loves people around her. And you had mentioned it's probably because she was in the SPCA for we don't know how long. They actually never did give us a backstory on Ivy.
No.
But Zoe had mentioned that that's probably why, is because when you only have four walls around you and, you know, you don't really have, I don't want to say much of a life. They treat them very, very well at the SPCA with all the necessities.
It's not like they're their owners, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they just feed them and take them out and, you know, change their litter box and stuff like that. Like, they don't give them affection like an owner would. So I just think when, like, an animal comes from the SPCA, they're most likely going to have attachment issues because how could you not, coming from the SPCA where, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in that environment compared to having an actual owner and, like, you know, just...
And just for overall what the SPCA does is provides like food, clothing, or clothing for cats.
Well, clothing, they do. They put little jackets on them in the wintertime. Yeah, it's so cute.
But they, you know, the SPCA, if we didn't have places like the SPCA, and there's a lot of foundations that take in stray animals, you know, it would be very, very sad because a lot of those animals like Ivy, you know, we don't know her backstory, but I'm pretty sure she was probably found in a litter that was probably abandoned. I'm pretty sure because she was so young.
Most
right?
cats are strays.
Yeah.
Like most cats that are in like a shelter.
Yeah, and we get cold winters here. You guys know I had mentioned the cold snap that we had. It was getting to -40 overnight. During the daytime, we were having a -30 degrees Celsius. Like, you know, kittens cannot survive in that. Puppies cannot survive in that. And that is why we are donating today to the SPCA. Women's shelter, self-explanatory. I had mentioned prior to Zoe showing up that I have used that resource, and especially the food bank. I was on social services. The girls know the hardships that we went through, and you know, that definitely provided the necessities of life for us to get through the hardships. Like I said, Zoe was only 1 when, you know, she is 19 now. She's going to be 20 this year. And, you know, the girls remember those times, and we never take that for granted. So I encourage you, if you, at all possible, to give back when you can. We are going to the dollar store today, and I think we're going to spend around $30 because I'm going to do $30 for the SPCA, $30 for the women's shelter, and $30 for the food bank. That is my goal today. I also...
40 at the food bank.
40 at the food bank?
Yeah, so it's 100.
Sounds good.
And like, I feel like food bank's most important. You know?
Yeah. True. I also wanted to say for this video today, I will be donating every single penny that I earn from this video. I will be donating to either the SPCA, the women's shelter, or the food bank in the form of a check, and I will do that till the end of February. So from now, when you're seeing this video, for the whole month of February, whatever this video earns, so make sure you're sharing this video, you're liking it so that it gets lots of views, and I will be donating every single penny from this video to the donation, whatever we decide to do, whatever kind of is, I guess, easiest as far as like, I don't know, an e-transfer, a check, however we can donate those funds. So let's go shopping. We are going to see what we find. First of all, I'm going to actually check on the list. I dropped off all the clothes at the Salvation Army. Oh. Yeah, that's why I'm all dirty. I'm going to check a list because there is a certain list from the women's shelter that they do need supplies, and it does need to be brand new. So I'm going to check that before we go in there, and then I will show you guys all that we got. All right, so we have just finished. Our total was $138, and this is all that we got. We got a lot of stuff, so we are just gonna reorganize it. We actually did the food bank stuff here as well. So we're gonna organize, because we're gonna drop off these bags today. So we're gonna organize it all and then see what we got. On. Alrighty, all right. Whew. That was actually really easy to do.
So easy, like much easier than expected.
Yeah, it was actually really easy, especially for the food bank. It's actually,
and it took like no time.
No, it took us like literally probably
not even an hour.
Yeah, half hour, 40 minutes. But I feel like the dollar store is actually a really good place.
It's a perfect place because they have everything that you need for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially the food bank, because everything there is pretty much all packaged. They don't sell produce or anything that's fresh that the food bank wouldn't take.
Yeah, it has a longer shelf life.
Yeah, that was actually really good. And even for the women's shelter, they have a ton of stuff in the dollar store for a women's shelter that was on our list. I'm sure every place is different, but that is kind of, we did that for the SPCA as well. When we were inside, we looked up just on the website for our local SPCA here in Medicine Hat and what they need, and just kind of went off that list to what we got. And they had everything there. We definitely could have bought more, for sure. Depending on what your budget is, even if it's $10, $20, the dollar store is where it's at, that you can make that donation.
And you can probably get the most for the least amount of money at the dollar store. 100%.
Definitely. Yeah. And they have such a variety, like dry food, wet food, toys, bedding, dishes.
There wasn't one thing that like we wanted and we were looking for that they didn't have.
Yeah, for sure. So what we are going to do is we are going to drop these off, and we will be going to the food bank, the women's shelter, and the SPCA to drop them all off. So let's go to our first drop off.
I was at the wrong place at the right time, 'cause suddenly there you were with those bright blue eyes. We were conversing into the night sky when you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. Don't wanna be shy, love talked about everything that was on our minds. Talking to you gave me butterflies. Then you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down.
All right, we just finished dropping off everything. I took as much footage as I could. I definitely didn't want to record at the women's shelter for safety reasons. I'm sure everybody in Medicine Hat probably knows where it is, but still didn't feel comfortable taking my camera there. But we went to the SPCA first and we got to play with the cats. So that was exciting. Zoe found another dream cat that she wants. It only had 3 legs. There's definitely
his ear was all beat up too.
Yeah, and the one ear was all beat up. There's definitely a story there because he's only 10 months old.
And his name is Noodles.
He was so cute. He really loved Zoe.
He loved love. Like
Yeah.
he just like loved affection so much. As soon as I sat down, he went on my lap and laid down right away.
Yeah.
He was the sweetest.
So cute. So they were really appreciative. They took a picture for us, so I will insert that picture here of our little donation. And we shared, or Zoe shared, pictures of Ivy because, like I said, that is where she rescued Ivy from the SPCA, and
they were glad to see her.
They love seeing the pictures of Ivy, so that was really good. And then we stopped at the food bank, which they had changed locations, so we actually had to go to a different location. It's pretty much a newer location actually, so we dropped that off there, which was really good. We had 2 bags for the food bank. And Zoe also wants to do some volunteering. She kind of, I think, has to do it with your social work program.
Yeah, there's like 50 required hours of volunteering to get into the program.
So definitely the food bank. And then she also has a contact for the women's shelter, because that was our next stop, was at the women's shelter. And we had donated a big bag there. Once again, off of things that they had on their website that they are in need of, which is a lot of new items. So that was great. It felt good, and it took us 2 hours to go and do all the shopping and to drop everything off. So, which was really, really good. I was saying to Zoe, because like I had mentioned, Zoe is my giver. She's definitely, a giver, and she would just like the world to be equal. There would be no rich or poor, or black or white, or anything like that. She would just love the world to live in perfect harmony.
Live in peace.
Live in peace. So we were talking that maybe we would do something this on a monthly basis, and just pick one place per month and kind of rotate through that, and just spend even $20. They're grateful for any donations. Like every place
they were so grateful.
They were so grateful at every single place where we dropped off. They were extremely, extremely grateful. And we only spent, it was $30 at the SPCA, $30 for the women's shelter, and $40 for the food bank. And
we went over a little. It was like just over $100.
Yeah. But still, like, even if you spent the $20, that's what we were talking about, to do $20 a month and do it every month. Take the time to spend for that hour. Just donate to one place, go shopping, and then drop it directly off right afterwards. It is actually really rewarding for everybody. Like for us, it feels good to give back 100%. The whole time we were talking about, because it's like the food bank I've experienced. I have said that at the beginning of this video, and I was telling Zoe how it works. It's actually pretty cool.
She said it was fun.
It was fun, because when you go in there and you don't have a job and you don't have money for groceries, and
I would feel like I'm like stealing.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be like committing a crime.
Well, and you don't have the options, like I said to Zoe, even cereal. So, the girls ate cereal when they were 1 and 3, but like cereal is so expensive, so I could never afford cereal. So going in there, and you could only pick like 5 items out of the canned goods, 2 items out of this food group, and it was like, wow, like I can get cereal, and they have shopping baskets and everything. It's like a grocery store, and I don't know, it was such a rewarding feeling when there is that resource to offer to people, and
probably a lot of gratitude too.
Yeah, oh for sure. And that's why like I do like giving back, you know what I mean? That was a stepping stone for me. That was not like the life that I wanted to continue. It was a stepping stone for me, and it was the help that I needed at the time, right? And you know, even for the SPCA, the women's shelter, like highly important. You know, we talked about all of that, and I think it's important to bring up the conversation and for it to be, you know, hopefully maybe an important routine in your life, if we can kind of do that maybe in the year of 2022. We've already done January, right? That was January's donation, so I think we're going to keep on going for the months further on going forward in 2022. So that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sharing the day with us, and you know, definitely a special video to put out there into the world. Hopefully that we have inspired you to go out there and make a donation to your favorite cause.
Do it right now.
Do it right now, even $20 if possible. I understand everybody is not in that position to do so. I have been there. I have been there for years, so I totally understand. But also, if you are in that position to give back, it is greatly appreciated. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Give this video a like to let me know that you're liking my content. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so YouTube can notify you when I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.
Bye.